Good afternoon. This is Freddie Vasquez. This is an afternoon news break. Good evening. No, good afternoon. This is Freddie Vasquez coming to you live with an afternoon news break. I want to go over some of those documents I posted up. Inquiring minds want to know, and I want to be clear. Also, I want to read a little bit more of the Mike Cater lawsuit. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. September 22nd already. It's like this month flew by. We are approaching the winter time, which I'm actually happy about. I'm tired of this heat. I am. Folks, anyway, I want to come on really quick. I got some phone calls. People, even comments. People were asking about these documents that I have been posting up. Let's go over it. I want to talk about it. These documents that, I've discovered. And I just posted them up and I want to talk about it. Listen, I'm just putting them out there. We can talk about it. I wanted to talk about this really quick. This is a piece of the investigation that the Inspector General, New York State Inspector General did back in 2010 into Battery Park City Authority when James Kavanaugh, the head of the Yonkers Industrial Agency here in Yonkers now, was a head of then, and Wilson Kimball was a part of that organization. I just want to make note here, Harris Beach, right? Kavanaugh said that numerous employees had submitted written complaints about her, and he's referring to Kimball, and they're referring to Kimball, and that outside employment counsel, the firm Harris Beach, was consulted prior to her termination. Actually, no, that's a woman that was fired. Wilson Kimball had fired, actually. But they consulted with Harris Beach first before firing her, is what they're saying here. But the point is that it's Harris Beach is all over the place. Yonkers Community Development Agency, selling off stuff, iPark, Hudson Garage. Right? And so Harris Beach, you can see right here. Record and return, Harris Beach. Harris Beach, and so when they're talking about quid quo pro here with Mike Cater, I mean, listen, that's fine. I'm not trying to just be the Mike Cater superhero defender. I'm talking about what's going on, and it involves Mike Cater. And if he is potentially involved in a quid quo pro, then fine. Let's investigate it. But let's not ignore the many other quid quo pro possibilities, because there are many. And so, they're being selective here, and that's the point. Why? And is there even a quid quo pro Mike Cater? Probably not. So I want to go into those New York City health and hospitals documents. By the way, Lakeisha Collins has a Collins Realty Group she started in 2017. It's like, is it politics and real estate? They like go to hand in hand. Is that what it is? Is that like hand in hand? Wilson Kimball here. I thought this was interesting. Wilson Kimball's full name is Laura Wilson Kimball. She is now the chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals. She is also CEO of Macy Municipal Housing Authority here in the city of Yonkers, the city council president's boss, technically. And here's when she was working at the Yonkers Community Development Agency. Well, isn't that something? Isn't that something? I just showed you a copy of a deed from a sale to iPark, which is Joe Cotter's company, right? iPark Hudson, that's Joe Cotter's company, one of them. And who was the law firm, the attorneys that were handling that transaction? Harris Beach. Who were the attorneys that were spoken about in the 2010 investigation into James Kavanaugh and Wilson Kimball? Harris Beach. Wilson Kimball, head the Yonkers Community Development Agency. So she was involved in that transaction. So they bring Harris Beach everywhere with them. $169,000 she was making there. But I found this interesting. It also stated a woman by the name of Laura Wilson was working at the MTA as a conductor. Her base salary was $64,196.23 a year. Yet she was actually only paid $17,000, $17,853.81 to be exact. She had an overtime pay of $1,500 and some extra pay of $1,092. And so I found that to be strange. Is it the same Wilson Kimball? Is it the same Laura Wilson Kimball? And are these payments being made to individuals, hidden payments, using agencies that are publicly funded, like the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, like the the Battery Park City Authority, like the Yonkers Downtown Development Agency, like all these different authorities that are quasi-governmental, as they say. Everyone that I found on here that was suspicious, like Tasha L. Freeman, Lorraine Lopez, never get their full base salary. And that surprised me. I was like, why is that? Why is it that everyone that has a name that could be someone here in Yonkers never gets their full base salary? They always seem to get these smaller amounts, which to me appear to be payments, in my opinion, that are being given to these individuals in a way that looks legitimate, right? You can't just hand envelopes of cash. Those days are pretty much over. You have to be smarter about it. And so this is interesting. Is this Laura Wilson Kimball? And was she a conductor for the MTA? By the way, did anyone know if Ken Jenkins worked for the MTA? He was listed as a police officer, as well as having worked for the YIDA. Well, people can confirm the YIDA. They just can't confirm the police officer MTA thing. Right? And so here, let me get to the other ones. And by the way, I found this interesting here. Jose Alvarado, maybe with Zahi Juris, possibly. Could it be? I don't know. Bear with me as I locate the Tasha Diaz and Lorraine Lopez document or ones that I posted somewhere. Oh, I posted them on the podcast page. Jeez, where'd it go? My apologies. Well, anyway, as I look it up there, folks. So the point I want to just make, I just want to clarify that because people are saying, Freddie, what are those, documents about? What is that about? And I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe you guys can help me out, right? They have New York Health and Hospitals has a person listed as an employee by the name of Tasha L. Freeman. I could be wrong. Listed as a social worker. I should say Tasha Freeman as a social worker level 2. They never received their full salary also. And that person started in 2019, the same year she was elected. It could be all a coincidence. Maybe you guys can help me out here. And Lorraine Lopez is the nurse practitioner there. Also someone who never received their full salary. Why? Why is that? Just very strange to me. And so where did I put all those documents? Now I can't find them, but that's just very strange. So I wanted to talk about that. I just want to be very clear on that. When people saying, Freddie, what is that stuff? That's what that stuff is. That's exactly what that stuff is. Wilson Kimball, or maybe I didn't post up the ones for Tasha Diaz. Oh, you're lucky. I'll post them up anyway, folks. I will do so. But anyway, I'll move on because I can't find that. I don't know where I put it up. I want to talk about this really quick before I get off. Ron Matton and how he had a part in this whole political assassination of Mike Cater. I like to call it a political assassination. They did. They took the guy out. I mean, they took him out. They took him out. They said, we don't want, oh, here we go. Here we go, baby. I mean, listen, I could be wrong. New York City Health and Hospital. I want to show you Lorraine Lopez, licensed practical nurse, actually. Annual salary, $45,000. Actual paid, $5,687.18. Why is that? Is that a completely different Lorraine Lopez? I mean, listen, I could be. What are the chances? Exactly. What are the chances? Connect the dots. Are these payments that are being paid to these individuals? $122,000 Wilson Kimball was making. And then Ken Jenkins, Yonkers Industrial Development Agency, $60,000. He was only getting paid 20 out of that. There's a bunch of them. So I'm going to be posting them up and I'm going to be going through it because I just think they're very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Bougie Brews. How's it going, Bougie Brews? I hope that Starbucks doesn't impact your business. We should be all about these, small businesses. But hey, you know where we live, right? Anyway, folks, defendant Matin. Let's talk about Ron Matin, the defendant in this lawsuit here. He's one of them anyway. He's a joke. Yeah. Ron is a funny guy. He is funny. Ron Matin authored a post that Hezi published in the Tribune on May 15th, 2021, entitled, Ron Matin calls on Yonkers City Council to investigate quid quo pro allegations in Council President Cater's affairs. Look, maybe when they came to him with this idea, they made him believe that there was actual quid quo pro going on. So Ron said, well, he is doing something he's not supposed to be doing, and it could help me out. So maybe that's why he then, sent this letter. Maybe had he known that this was BS, he wouldn't have done it, because I don't see, Ron is a smart guy. He is a smart guy. I don't see him getting himself in this situation. Although I guess you had to be stupid, Ron. That was stupid. I mean, it doesn't matter. It was stupid all around. But I guess you still were trying to think, I guess, right? And I don't see him doing it if he didn't feel like there was a basis for it, because he knows that it could blow up in his face. But it's blowing up anyway, right? So I guess it wasn't smart to begin with. So anyway, Matin wrote the following false statements included in this post. In fact, quote, and it is a fact that City Council President Cater has his law office and campaign headquarters at the premises of Smith, Buss, and Jacobs, LLP. This fact is false as detailed in paragraphs 110 to 114 of the second cause in action. Matin used the false statement as basis for his conclusion in the post that quid quo pro is a breach of public trust, further supporting that conclusion with the half-truth that SBJ, Smith, Buss, Jacob, had contributed to plaintiff's campaign, but omitted the facts that the campaign in question was in 2017. So he wanted to make it appear like they had just recently contributed to his campaign. And that Smith, Buss, Jacob had contributed to McLaughlin's campaign over 3 times the amount given to the plaintiffs. So basically, Smith, Buss, Jacobs, is more generous, apparently, to Liam McLaughlin, the Inspector General, right? And the person that Mike Cater defeated in 2017 to become the city council president. So when Liam McLaughlin lost, he was appointed as the Inspector General. And according to the lawsuit here, and I read this yesterday, Mike Cater alleges that Liam McLaughlin warned him he better learn how to play nice with the mayor or else. And, and now he finds himself in this situation. Right? Matin called Cater and discussed the allegations of quid quo pro at some point after May 12, 2021, but prior to the publication of the May 15 piece in the Yonkers Tribune. So he never called them until after he put the piece out. I was at an event. I was at a fundraiser, right? And everyone, Ron Matin was there, Anthony Moranti, Christopher Johnson. This was all the election stuff. People were coming up. I think Christopher Johnson was there. People were coming up talking about, why you should vote for them, and that's when I saw Moranti's Jimmy Hoffa impression. Thought it was great. Anthony. Anyway, at the end, talking to Ron Matin, right? He and I were talking, and Mike Cater comes up right in between us. This was before I even knew that Ron wrote the letter, and says, Ron, why did you write that letter instead of calling me? Why didn't you call me first and speak to me? And Ron was just caught off guard. He like, but I tried to. So I'm just like, I'm even like, what? I was even in like, oh yeah, it was. I was even a little bit caught off guard. But I understand where Mike's coming from. I mean, look what it's done to him in his life and what was done to his wife, and his family. That's not cool, man. It's not cool. But he did question him about that in front of me, why he had not reached out prior to putting out this publication or this, whatever, this editorial on the Yonkers Tribune. And he copped the plea. Just said, I just did it because I didn't want to face you. He tried to try to give him a compliment, right? Like try to stroke his ego, Mike Cater's ego, right? Because I didn't want to face you. I just figured Lakeisha's I could be her. She's the weaker candidate. But yeah, really, with the machine behind her, Miran, you think you're a white male, right? She's a black woman. The political environment that we in, she's got the machine and all the endorsements behind her, and you thought that she would be better than Mike Cater when they didn't even like Cater anymore. See, Ron? Come on. That wasn't, what you was doing. You know what you were doing. Now you got yourself tied up in this nonsense. Anyway, Matten would have known that the quid pro story was false based on that conversation had he had spoken with Cater. Matten, caught up in the emotional heat of a campaign, stated the blatant falsity that Cater's office was on Smith Bus Jacobs premises when it was not. They don't own the building, with stark certainty, and this despite how easy it would have been to falsify, as illustrated by the bus letter on May 19th. Yeah, so, Ron, before speaking out, he should have did his home, but obviously he had a goal. He had an agenda. The agenda was to help people that came to him get rid of Cater. In return, he would have smooth sailing all the way into the 5th district, because remember, Breen is termed out. He's running for assembly. And so that 5th district where Ron lives, and he doesn't want to necessarily be the mayor. That's more work, right? But he can have some influence on the city council. So he figured, that's where I want to be. I got other things going on. And so that's the deal that he made. And that's, where he went with it. And he took that gamble. And I don't know how much it'll cost him. We'll see. Matten warned Cater during their phone conversation that there were city employees and or political operatives who had given Matten the information about the quid pro quo and suggested to Matten that he write the post. Of course. I don't have to read that to know that. That was easy. And I would imagine I know who that person is. I mean, who controls the Yonkers Tribune, and has he? Cater asked Matten to identify these city employees or operatives, and defendant Matten replied that he was too scared. Oh, now you're scared. Oh, man. He was too scared to disclose their identities, but what he was sure, they were coming after Cater, and that Matten was nervous even calling him. Is that serious? Ron, you're going to have to go to court, and either you're going to say, yes, I did say this, and you may have to reveal those names, Ron. Don't worry. They'll put you in the witness protection program. They'll change your name. Don't want to know who you are. They won't find you. They'll put you somewhere in Vegas. Maybe you could be the mayor of a town in Nevada, right? Or you could be 5th District council member there. I'm just saying. Oh, defendant Matten's unauthorized, knowingly false, and thereby actually malicious statement, as detailed in this count, has damaged Cater by creating a false public image, because that is true. People have said who support Mike, I've heard this from people say, and I will testify, people have said that they have to see if he's going to be cleared first before they can support him. They want to, but not if he has this investigation actively ongoing. So that is hurting him right there. People have told me this. They want to see his name cleared before they can fully endorse and support and vote for him. That's you know, You better learn to play nice with the mayor. Disgusting. And it sounds an awful lot like you want to play this game. You're going to lose it. I'll tell you right now. Lots of games being played with people's livelihoods by the Spano crime family. No wonder I haven't gotten a call from Liam. The mayor is a crook, and so is his brother, Mike. The mayor got a brother named Mike. Yeah, that's a lot there. Yeah, so that's anyway, Mr. Defendant man unauthorized a statement, created public image corruption, a public image of as a corrupt politician that misuses public funds for private gains, thus exposing Mattins to public scorn, hate, and ridicule, which he has undergone by people in the community, by people online. Right. And that's why he's, for the most part, kept away. And people are like, well, I want to see him. Where's he at? Why isn't he coming out? But he's got this a lot going on. Right. And there are people, it's like with those false CPS allegations, right? Even when they're false, it's like you're still guilty. It's like you need some real vindication. Like that people have to say, yes, we did that falsely. And even then, it's like, you're always gonna have to deal with that, right? I still deal with it. Look what Brian Haraj is doing, you punk. So that's why he's kind of pulled away. But I hope that he starts to become more vocal. Come on, I'm hoping that he speaks to Freddie Vasquez on Basement Politics first, because I deserve it. I think I do, right? I haven't gotten $1 from the Caters, not one penny, right? I deserve that first interview. I'm just saying. And it's not for money. It's just because I deserve it, right? Plaintiff has been damaged by actual malicious and defamatory statement as pled in count, as detailed more in paragraph so-and-so. So yeah, that's the Ron Mattin saga there, as the Ron Mattin part of this whole lawsuit. What should we call it? Like lawsuit gate. Let's call it Catergate. Catergate. I think I said that before. This is Catergate. And Ron Mattin, you are now a part of Catergate. So when you come back from Oktoberfest out in Germany, don't be surprised if you have U.S. Marshals waiting at the gate. I'm just kidding, Ron. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I don't want your pee-pee on yourself drinking all that beer. No, Ron, but that's the Ron Mattin, part of this whole thing. And listen, it's disgusting. It's outrageous. I'm glad it's coming out. All jokes aside, this is serious stuff. This is a big problem here in the city of Yonkers. We need to get rid of the individuals who partook in this. Listen, Zahi Jerris is not named here, but he is a major player. And he's not named because he's not official or, city employee or nothing like that. But he's definitely heavily, I should say, involved. He is the underboss, so to speak. He goes out there, he manages the troops, and he sends out the attack. He creates the strategies, and maybe he's like the war, I forget what you call it, that rank. Anyway, the warlord of the whole thing, the sergeant at arms. So he's definitely a big factor in all this, and what's happening here in the city of Yonkers. A lot of the corruption that's happening here, a lot of the favoritism, people getting certain jobs. Shout out to DPW. Shout out to the guy from DPW that says he watched the show. Shout out to you, all the DPW. And I saw a guy today. I didn't put his picture up because I don't want him to get any retaliated on. He's a DPW guy doing his job. He took out a sign that was put illegally, a campaign sign, and I saw him walking with it. And I said, "What happened? They put it in. We're not supposed to." He said, "Yeah, you're not supposed to put it on city property. It's only on private property." So he was doing his job. Shout out to you guys at DPW. And I'm gonna say that he definitely is an independent guy, because he took a sign that the system may not have wanted to be gone, but he took it. And I'm not gonna say from where, none of that. I don't want to give too much other information. I just wanted to shout him out for doing his job, doing the right thing, right? So we have to, get these individuals up out of here. Ron, man, that was messed up, man. It's just messed up because it's not just he lost an election, right? Okay, and even that would be messed up, right? But his family was severely impacted. His life was turned upside down. We don't know the emotional stress, emotional turmoil that this man has been through since this investigation, not knowing what these guys are capable of. Can they get me, convicted of something that's not true? And how am I going to fight this? Is my business going to suffer? Will I ever be able to, have the same life that I once did? So Ron, and everyone else that was involved in this, all the city council members who signed that letter, who were a part of it, that's exactly what you guys did. And one thing that I do believe in before I go, let me tell you, son. I'm going to take my street. One thing I believe in is karma. Karma is, you know what? Trust me, it is very, very real. What goes around comes around. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me. I will post those documents up in a shortly, so you guys can take a look at them. And join me tonight for City Talk with Anderson Flan from Inside Yonkers. Tonight's Thursday, episode 3. Don't forget. And thank you for joining me. No, the real mayor is Nick. Mike is just a face. That's what they say. Yes, Mayor Nick Spano has a dopey pile of goo named Mike. You guys say he is a non-Italian consigliere like Tom Hagen. Yeah, that's a good one. Consigliere. Yeah, he's like the advisor. Follow the money trail that leads to the criminals. Absolutely not. That's Liam. God's judgment. That's right. Whether it's something here on this earth or when you meet your maker, you will surely get your karma. Trust me. Karma is real. What goes around comes around. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of the afternoon. You heard it here first. That's right. I broke the Mike Cater lawsuit. I've been going over it. This is where you get it first, and you get it honesty. Honestly. I'm not biased. I know people say, oh, he's the Cater, and I'm really not. Right? I just put it out there. Caters haven't given me a dime. No one has. No one. I just want the people to know the information. And you guys ultimately make up your minds, right? I'm not even trying to convince you. I don't want you to think the way I think. I want you to form your own opinion. And you decide what you want to do with the information that I put out here, right? And so that's why I can't always say that I fully verified it. I'm just saying I'm putting it out, like with the documents for New York City Health and Hospitals. I'm just saying, I don't know. It looks crazy. Can anyone help me out? That's all I'm saying. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a beautiful and stay dry day. I'll be back tonight with Anderson on Inside Yonkers and Basement Politics. See you then. I am Freddie Vasquez. That was your afternoon news break. More of the Mike Cater lawsuit tomorrow. Friday afternoon for the afternoon break. And then I will be on again tomorrow night with Anthony DiMaggio. By the way, I someone else said, I like that interview, man. They told me today in person. I'm telling you, the Anthony DiMaggio interview is hot. I've never had anyone request it. Never had people really say, well, no, it's not true. They have talked about specific podcasts. But, I mean, the way they talk about your interviews, they love it. So we'll be on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Part 5. I think it's part 5, part 5. Join me. What else are we going to talk about? I'm Freddie Vasquez. See you tonight.
Freddie with